Last week we studied the 31 planes of existence and also the lifespan of these planes. Now the lifespan of these planes are given in the section we are studying today. But since in the chart the years are given, I taught the lifespan last week. So today we come to the second section and the fifth chapter, that is the 4 kinds of Patisandhi. Now you all know that Patisandhi means rebirth or relinking. Patisandhi is actually the first moment in one life. And before we study different kinds of Patisandhi, we must refresh our memory of the 19 chetas that function as Patisandhi, Bhavanga, and Juti. So you remember the 19 chetas? So 2 from Ahituka, the 1 from resultant of Akusala, that was the last one, and another from the resultant of Kusala. And then 8 Kama Vajra Vipakas, 5 Rupa Vajra Vipakas, and 4 Arupa Vajra Vipakas. So these 19 chetas function as Patisandhi, Bhavanga, and Juti. Okay. Now, please look at page 194 of the manual. So, rebirth linking is 4-fold. There are 4 kinds of Patisandhi. The first one is rebirth linking in the woeful plane. That means it is called Apaya Patisandhi. Patisandhi in Apaya plane. And then number 2, rebirth linking in the sensuous blissful plane. Now what are these sensuous blissful planes? There are 7. Human beings and 6 celestial worlds. So they are called sensuous blissful plane. Pali, Kama Sugati. There are 11 Kama planes, right? 4 are Apaya, or woeful planes, and the 7 are blissful planes. And third, rebirth linking in the fine material sphere, that is Rupa Vajra Patisandi. And then rebirth linking in the immaterial sphere, Arupa Vajra Patisandi. Now, in the woeful states, when a person is reborn in one of these 4 woeful states, in hell, or as an animal, or as a Beda, or as an asura. So when a person is reborn in one of these 4 woeful states, his Patisandi Cheda is what? Akusala Vipaka Upekha Sahagata Santirana. That means the Santirana consciousness, investigating consciousness, accompanied by Upekha, neutral feeling, and that belongs to Akusala Vipaka, the first one. So with that Cheda, the person takes Patisandi in 4 woeful states. And that same Patisandi Cheda functions as Bhavanga during lifetime. That means this Cheda repeats again and again and again, millions and millions of times during life. And at the end of one life, it functions as a death consciousness. So at the end of this session, we'll learn that in one life, Patisandi, Bhavanga, and Chuti are one and the same type of consciousness. They have same object also. So, one Patisandi in woeful plane. Then there is Patisandi in Kama Sugati. Now, in Kama Sugati, when a person is born as a human being, or born as some lesser devas, then his Patisandi Cheda is the Santirana accompanied by Upekha, but the result of Kusala. But this Cheda, Santirana Upekha, result of Kusala, is not for every human being. This is for those who are born blind, who are born deaf, and so on. So these are those who are handicapped human beings, and then some other kinds of devas. Now, on page 195, you'll see the explanation, such as those born blind, etc., born blind, etc. So the etc. here is intended to include those born deaf, mute, mentally retarded, mentally deranged, and also those born as eunuchs, hermaphrodites, and sexually indeterminate. So it is said that these human beings are born with upekha, santirana, which is resultant of kusala as patisandhi ceta. Now, when we say born blind, we must understand that actually a person born blind is a person who is born with the patisandhi ceta, which cannot help eye sensitivity arise when it is due to arrive. Now, for human beings, eye sensitivity does not arise until about 11 weeks in a mother's womb. But if that patisandhi ceta has not the power to give rise to the eye sensitivity when it is due, he is called a person born blind. So a person born blind means not born when he comes out of his mother's womb, but even at the beginning of his life, which is the moment of patisandhi ceta. So these people are born as a result of kusala karma. But their kusala karma is so weak, so deficient, that their kusala karma is incapable of generating eye sensitivities. So sometimes a person may be born, a person takes patisandhi with another type of consciousness, but through some accident or illness, he may become blind in the womb of a mother. So he may be born blind. But such persons are not included here. So the persons included here are those whose karma is so weak that it is incapable of generating eye sensitivity for when it is due to arise. But for those born spontaneously, then they may be deficient in eye sensitivity or ear sensitivity at the moment of patisandhi. But generally, human beings are not born spontaneously, except at the beginning of one world cycle. So those who are born, whose merit is so weak that it is incapable of generating eyes when they are due, ears when they are due, are called born blind, born deaf, and so on. And there are some people who are born with so dullness in their mind that they may not be capable of even differentiating east from west, or they may not be able to differentiating morning from evening or something like that. So those people are also said to be included in this statement. And then some earthbound deities. Now here there is some textual problem. In the Burmese edition of Abhidhammattha saṅgaha and also of the PTS edition, It is different. I think this manual follows the Sinhalese edition. So according to maybe Sinhalese edition, according to the text given in Venerable Narada's book, we have one meaning, and according to the Burmese edition and the PDS edition, we get another. Now, in this edition, let's say, and according to this explanation, there are two kinds of beings, two kinds of lower celestial beings. One, earthbound deities, and the other, fallen asuras. So they are said to be two different kinds of beings. So we will go according to this first. So earthbound deities are those who do not dwell in the higher heavenly realms, but who dwell close to the human beings. So on trees, on mountains, on rivers, something like that. So they are called Bhuma Devas. Bhuma, the word Bhuma comes from the word Bhumi, which means the earth. So they are called Bhuma Deva because they live, say, close to earth. While the more powerful deities in this class may possess double or triple-rooted types of rebirth consciousness, they are often accompanied by retinues which may include deities of defective merit, who manage to maintain their lives with difficulty. So these earthbound deities may have some lesser deities as their servants or as their followers, as their retinue, and those have defective merit in their past life, and so although they are born as celestial beings, they may not be as happy or as good as those that are born in higher celestial realms. And those whose merit is defective and so to have to maintain their lives with difficulty are called here earthbound deities. And those deities are reborn with the kusala vipaka ubekha sahagata sandirana as relinking consciousness. And then there are some asuras who are called fallen asuras, fallen from bliss, fallen from comfort, something like that. So these beings are said to dwell in villages or in the vicinity of villages, living off the remains of food discarded by the residents. Like some ghosts. But they don't belong to Apaya. They belong to Jatu Maharaja, the lowest celestial realm. They also haunt or oppress human beings when they fail to obtain food. So when they do not have food, they will haunt you, they will possess you and then ask for food or something like that. So they are called fallen asuras. Now, so according to this definition, this reading, earthbound deities and fallen asuras are different kinds of beings. But in the Burmese edition, and also in the PDS edition, the text is a little different. So according to those editions, earthbound deities and fallen asuras are the same kind of deities. Now, earthbound deities really means or the Pali word, Bhumma-sita. You see the Pali word in the book, Bhumma-sita. So Bhuma means one meaning, and Sita means to depend on. Now here Bhuma means those deities that are born in the vicinity of the earth. So tree deities, mountain deities, river deities, and so on. And those who live depending on those earthbound deities are here called Bhuma Nisita. So here Bhuma Sita, Bhuma Sita means those who live depending on gods who dwell in the vicinity of earth. So that means those deities or those lesser deities who dwell depending on tree deities and so on. And they are actually fallen asuras. Because they don't have enough to eat, they don't have enough to wear and so on. And so they are also called fallen asuras. Fallen from happiness. So in this reading, Bhumma-sita and Vinipatika asura are just one kind of celestial beings. Although they are celestial beings, they may not be as comfortable and as happy as some human beings. So these deities are born with kusala vipaka upekha sahakata santirana as relinking consciousness. That is sensuous blissful rebirth linking in sensuous blissful plane, but there are some more. Now we come to Mahavipaka, 8 Kama Vajra Vipakas. So they serve as Patisandhiceta for those who are born in Kama Sukati, who are born as human beings, say without defects, and who are born as deities, such as Chatu Maharajika and so on. So for them, the Patisandhiceta, relinking consciousness, is one of the 8 Kama Vajra Vipakas. So a human being without defects may be born with the first Kama Vajra Vipaka Cheta as relinking consciousness, or second, third, and fourth, and so on, depending upon what kind of karma gives result. So human beings are born with one of these 8 Kama Vajra Vipaka Chetas, and also the 6 celestial beings in the 6 celestial worlds, beginning with Jatu Maharajika and so on. So they are born with one of these 8 Kama Vajra Vipaka consciousness. And these these types of Vipaka consciousness also serve as Bhavanga and duty for those beings. So when a Cheta serves as Patisandhi, it also serves as Bhavanga and duty, right? So there are altogether 9 Kama Sugati Patisandhis. One for those defective who are born with the defects and some lower celestial beings, and 8 for those, say, full-fledged human beings and devas. So 9 Kama Sugati Patisandhi. 9 plus the first one, Abhaya Patisandhi. Altogether we get 10 Kama Vajra Patisandhi. So there are 10 Kama Vajra Patisandhis. Because we take 8 Kama Vajra Vibhagas as individually, one by one. So actually there are 10 types of consciousness that serve as Patisandhi, Bhanga and Chuti in Kama Vajra realms. 4 Abhaya realms and 7 Kama Sukati realms. And then in the manual, the lifespan of these beings are given. So we have already studied the lifespan. Now today's sheets are just for your information, because here we have covered the lifespan last week. And the lifespan of devas, this sheet, it's actually taken from the second book of Abhidhammattha. So in Vibhanga, it is stated that one day in Chadu Maharajika Devas is equal to 50 years for human beings, and then 30 days in Chadu Maharajika equal to 1500 years human being, and 360 days, which is 1 year, for Chadu Maharajika, 1000 years for human beings, and 500 such years amount to 9 million human years, and so on. And last week we calculated the lifespan of devas both by human years and celestial years. The next sheet is just a tentative. Did you try this?
I haven't checked because I need Luan. He's a statistician more,
So
haven't checked.
this is not given in any books, but I just thought of it, and so I thought it would be good to calculate lifespan for different realms by some standards. So these two are the same. I first made it with another font, and it doesn't look not in line, and so I made it with another font. So say Chatu Maharajika. Lifespan of Chatu Maharajika Devas. By Chatu Maharajika lifespan is 500 years. But by Tower Densal, we are only 250. And by Yama standard, we are only 125. By Tusita standard, they are only 62.5. And by Nimanarati standard, they are 31.25, and Paralimita Vasavati, they are just 15.625 years. So 500 for Chadu Maharajika years is just 15.625 years for Paralimita Vasavati. So I want you to check it, whether it is correct or not. If you don't get the right one, or if it is too difficult, we can just leave it out. Okay, now we come to the rebirth linking in fine material sphere, page 197. Rebirth linking for fine material sphere and immaterial sphere is easy. Now, for fine material sphere, we have only five types of consciousness, five resultant consciousness of fine material sphere. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and fifth jhana. But how many planes are there in Rupa Vajra realm? First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. That's all, right? So the planes go according to the fourfold method. So we'll have to adjust to that fourfold method. So first jhana vipaka, the first one, serves as a patisandhi cheta and also bhavanga and chuti for those who are reborn in the first jhana realm. First jhana realm, yes. And then for those who are born in second jhana realm, the patisandhi cheta is second jhana vipaka and third jhana vipaka. And for those who are born in third jhana realm, the patisandhi cheta is fourth jhana vipaka. And for those who are born in fourth jhana realm, that is Vihaphala, Asanya Satta, and Subhasas. So for them, patisandhi cheta is fifth jhana vipaka consciousness. So these jhana vipaka consciousnesses act as patisandhi, bhavanga, and chuti for those who are reborn in these Brahma realms. So there are altogether 16 Brahma realms. So one more, and that is asanya satta, mindless beings. So for mindless beings, there is no patisandhi cheta. Because they are without mind, there can be no cheta, no consciousness, no mental factors. So for them, rupa, material properties, serve as patisandhi. So they are called those having rupa as patisandhi. And the others are those who have, say, mind as patisandhi. And for them, for the asanya beings, that rupa continues to exist for how many world cycles? 500, yeah? Yeah. For 500 world cycles. And when they die, these material properties disappear. So there is no bhavanga for them, there is no chuti cheta for them. Since there is no patisandhi cheta for them, there is no bhavanga and no chuti cheta for them. So for them, the whole life is just rupa, material properties. What material properties? We will learn in the 6th chapter. So there are altogether 6 rupa vajra patisandhis. That means 5 rupa vajra vipakas make 5 Rupa Vajra Pratisandhis, and mindless beings, or the Pratisandhi of mindless beings, make 1 Pratisandhi. So there are altogether 6 Pratisandhis, or 6 modes of Pratisandhi in the Rupa Vajra sphere. You may write the Pratisandhi chetas in this chart, so that you know at a glance which Pratisandhi cheta serves as Pratisandhi in a given rank. And then after that, the lifespan is again given in the manual. So we have already talked about lifespan last week. Now, in connection with lifespan of Brahmas, sometimes we need to understand a little about the world cycle, how the world cycle is formed and how it is destroyed, and that I cannot tell you here. It's a long story. Now, it is explained in the commentaries that one world cycle consists of 4 asankhiya kappas, 4 incalculable, that's called kappas. It's shorter. So one world cycle, one world consists of 4 asankhiya kappas. And 1 asankhiya kappa is equal to 64 antara kappas. I think I talked about it last week. In the manual it is at 20. So now 4 asankhiya kappas are those the periods in one mahakappa, in one world cycle. So one world cycle is divided into four periods. When we talk about asankhiya kappas, we begin with destruction. So the period when destruction takes place, destruction of the world takes place. So it may take long time to destroy the world. The world is destroyed by fire, or sometimes by water, and sometimes by air. So it will take many years for the world to be completely destroyed. So that one period is called, in Pali it is called saṅgaha, the world of contracting, or the world of destruction. Let us call it the period of destruction. And then another period follows when the world remains as destroyed. Nothing more happens. So first, it is a process of destruction of the world, and then another period is it stays just destructed, just destroyed. And then the third period follows, when the new world begins to be created or begins to form. So that also takes a long time for the earth to appear, for the mountains and rivers appear, and then for the realms to appear, and so on. So that takes actually a long time again. Then there comes the fourth period, when the world exists as formed. And this is the only period when beings can be in these realms, in the realms. So during the destruction period, all beings die, and then they are reborn in some other some other Brahma plane which are not affected by destruction. So during that time there are no beings, and also when it remains as destroyed, there are no beings, and when the world is forming also there are no beings. And so only 1/4 of one Mahakapa is actually a time for beings to arise or to exist. And it is said that the world is destroyed by fire for 7 times. And the 8th time it is destroyed by water. And then another 7 times by fire, and then 16th time by water, and so on. But when it reaches the 64th time, it is destroyed by air. Now you may want to know how destruction takes place and so on. So I will refer you to Visuddhimagga. So in the 13th chapter of Visuddhimagga, you can find the description of the world being destroyed and formed and so on. It's interesting. how first human beings appear in the world, and then how the world was formed, something like that. So chapter Visuddhimagga, chapter 13, in connection with remembering past lives. So in chapter 13 deals with what I call abhinya. Okay, then let us go to immaterial sphere. I mean, rebirth linking in immaterial sphere, arupa vajra pratisthani. Arupa vajra pratisthani is very easy. The 4 arupa vajra vipaka cheta. Akasananja yatana, right? Vinyananja yatana, akinchanya yatana, and nevasanya, nasanya yatana. For those who are reborn in the Akasananja yatana realm, which is arupa realm, Akanasa yatana vipaka serves as Pratisthani cheta, and then Bhavanga, and also Chuti. For those who are reborn in the 2nd realm, the 2nd arupa vajra vipaka serves as Pratisthani, Bhavanga, and Chuti. For those who are reborn in the 3rd arupa vajra vipaka serves as Pratisthani, Bhavanga, and Chuti. And for those who are reborn in the 5th and the 4th arupa vajra realm, the 4th arupa vajra vipaka serves as Pratisthani, Bhavanga, and Chuti. Now that means a person who gets arupa vajra jhana as a human being, or as a deva, or as a immaterial Brahman. So when he is reborn in the one of the 4 arupa vajra realms. So when he is reborn there, the arupa vajra vipaka chetas arises there as a result of the arupa vajra jhana he attained in the previous life. The same with when a person gets 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th jhana as a human being, or as a deva, or as a Brahma, he will be reborn in the world of Brahmas according to the jhana, or the highest jhana he attains. So if a person gets 1st jhana here, for example, and after his death he will be reborn in the 1st rupa vajra, and he will be reborn in the 1st rupa vajra realm, one of the 3. And then their lifespan, you already know, 20,000 world cycles, 40,000, 60,000, 84,000 world cycles. So in a given life, Patisandhi, Bhavanga and Judicata are actually the same. They have the same object, or have an identical object. Now, Patisandhi Chetas take what as object? Karma or Karma Nimitta or Gati Nimitta, right? Karma or sign of karma or sign of destiny. So if the object of Patisandhi Cheta is karma, then all through the life, the object of Bhavanga Chetas is karma, and the object of Chuti Cheta is karma. Same with if the object of Patisandhi Cheta is karma nimitta or gati nimitta, then the same will be taken, the same identical object will be taken by Bhavanga Chetas and in the end Chuti or death consciousness. So there are altogether how many types of rebirth? And for Kama Vajra, right? And then 6 for Rupa Vajra and 4 for Arupa Vajra. So altogether 20. And you already know what type of consciousness is a Patisandhi Cheta for what realm. So let's go back to the beginning. For those who are reborn in 4 woeful states, what is the relinking consciousness? Akusala, Vipaka, Upekha, Sahagata, Santirana. For those who are reborn as deficient human beings, and also for some lesser deities, what is the relinking consciousness? Kusala Vipaka, Upekha, Sahagata, Santirana. And for full-fledged human beings and for the 6 celestial realms, what is the Patisandhi Cheta? How many Patisandhi Chetas? 8 Patisandhi Chetas. They are the 8 Kama Vajra Vibhagas. Now we are all human beings. So our Patisandhi Cheta may be one of those. Buddha's Patisandhi Cheta was also one of those. And then for those who are reborn in Rupa Vajra realms, what are the Patisandhi Chetas? 5 Rupa Vajra Vipakas. And also 1 matter for mindless beings. And then for those who are reborn in the 4 Arupa Vajra realms, what are the Patisandhi Chetas? 4 Arupa Vajra Vipakas. Yeah. So in the next section we will study what kusalas give results to what vipaka. So the next section is very interesting section because it is about karma. When it comes to karma, we can relate it to ourselves to some extent. We can understand relating it to ourselves. But the others are very theoretical. So the next section is called karma, chituka, fourfold karma, 4 types of karma. So this section, there are altogether 16 types of karma. 4 fourfold divisions, 4 groups of 4. So there are 16 types of karma treated in this section. Now the first group consists of 1. Productive karma, 2. Supportive karma, 3. Obstructive karma, and 4. Destructive karma. So there are 4 kinds of karma here. Now, what is karma? If you have been with me, you know what is karma, what karma is. Huh? Karma is volition, cetana. So, technically speaking, karma means cetana, volition, which accompanies action, which accompanies actions by body, by speech, and by mind. So, popularly we will say karma means action or deed. But technically, or to be exact, then we say karma is a mental volition that accompanies these actions or deeds. All volitional actions except that of a Buddha and an Arahant constitutes karma. So, all volitional action becomes karma, or all cetana becomes karma, except of that of the Buddha and an Arahant, because Buddhas and Arahants do not acquire karma. So Buddhas and Arahants do not accumulate karma, since they have eradicated ignorance and craving, the roots of karma. So long as there is craving, there is ignorance, we will always be doing something that will give results in the future. Buddhas and Arahants, since they have no ignorance and craving, their actions are just actions, their deeds are just deeds. Their deeds does, or their cetana, their volition does not amount to karma, which gives results. Nevertheless, even the Buddhas and Arahants are bound to experience the ripening of their past karma, as long as their psychophysical personality persists, that is, until they pass away. So, although Buddhas and Arahants do not get new karma, see, after they become Buddhas and Arahants, they do not get new karma. They may do good deeds, but they are doing good deed is not kusala. So they do not acquire new or fresh karma after they become Buddhas or Arahants. But they are still subject to the results of their past karma, either good or bad. So, even Buddhas and Arahants sometimes still suffer from the results of their akusala karma. Buddha often had a backache or headache, he had a pain when the piece of rock hit his foot, and so on. And also arahants still suffer physical pain. So even they have become Buddhas and arahants, although they have eradicated all mental defilements and so do not accumulate new karma, they still suffer or they still enjoy the results of their past good or bad karma. And then the law of karma is self-subsistent in its operation, ensuring that willed deeds produce their effects in accordance with their ethical quality, just as surely as seeds bear fruit in accordance with their species. So the law of karma is actually not created by the Buddha. It is discovered by the Buddha. So it is actually a law of nature. So Buddha discovered the law of karma, or Buddha saw the law of karma, saw the mechanism of karma when he attained, during the second watch of the night, the supernormal knowledge by which he could see beings dying from one existence and being reborn in another. So when he sees beings dying from one existence and reborn in another, he also sees that this being is reborn in hell because he did some akusala in the previous life, and this being is reborn in the blissful state because he did something some kusala in his previous life. So the law of karma taught by the Buddha is the law discovered by the Buddha, seen by himself. It is not based on logic or just thinking, but it is based on intuitive knowledge, based on actual seeing. And the direct products of karma are the resultant states of consciousness and mental factors. Now, the word vipaka, you have met the word vipaka many times. So we met it in the first chapter. So vipaka is a name for those results that are identical in nature with karma. That means, so vipaka means a result which must be identical with the karma or with the cause. But the results of karma are not only chetas and cetasikas. There are results of karma among material properties. Now, when we come to the 6th chapter, we will study which material properties are caused by karma and so on. But the name vipaka is given only to those that are identical in nature with the cause. That means only chetas and cetasikas are called vipaka and not material properties. Although material properties, some material properties are also the result of karma. And in the manual they are called karma samutthana or kamaja rupa. For example, at the moment of rebirth as a human being, there arises one of the 8 kama vajra vipaka chetas. And along with that cheta, chetasikas also arise, right? So that cheta and chetasikas are called vipaka of kusala kama in the past. But along with the chetas and chetasikas, there arise 30 particles of matter for human beings. They are the result of past karma. But they are not called vipaka. They are called karma samudana rupa. So when we say a karma gives results, we must understand that it gives results not only the chetas and chetasikas, but also rupas. Okay, now these 4 productive karmas and so on are grouped with respect to their functions, what they do. The first one is called productive karma. So a productive karma means a karma that gives result at patisandhi and also during lifetime. So a karma that gives results at the moment of patisandhi and also during the course of existence is called productive karma or janaka karma. This janaka karma may be either kusala or akusala karma. And as I said, when it produces results, it produces consciousness and mental states, as well as materiality, which is born of karma. During the course of existence, it produces other resultant chetas and the continuities of karma-born materiality. Now, when we study the result of karmas, we must study their result at relinking and their result during lifetime, and they are different. At the rebirth linking, at patisandhi, they produce patisandhi cheta, chetasika and samrupas. And during lifetime, they produce other vibhaka consciousness and karma-born materiality. But only a karma that has attained the status of a full course of action, that means a karma which is full-fledged, can function, can have the function of producing, say, rebirth linking. But during the course of existence, all kusala and akusala karmas, without exception, can produce results. So the productive karma is that which produces the result itself. So it doesn't have to get help from others or something like that. So it produces the results itself. Now the next one is supportive karma. It is said that supportive karma does not gain an opportunity to produce its own result. So it does not give results of its own. But it supports the productive karma, thereby enabling it to produce its pleasant or painful results over an extended time without obstruction or by reinforcing the continuum of aggregates produced by another karma. So it just supports the results of some productive karma. Now, the example is given here as when, through the productive function of wholesome karma, one is reborn as a human being. So a person is reborn as a human being as a result of productive karma. Now, supportive karma may contribute to the extension of one's lifespan. Say he may he may have a long lifespan, or ensure that one is healthy and well provided with all the necessities of life. So these are the the results these results we get being supported by this karma or supportive karma. So supportive karma cannot give result by itself, but it helps the result of other karmas. Now, when an unwholesome karma has exercised its productive function by causing a painful disease, other unwholesome karma may support it by preventing medicines from working effectively, thereby prolonging the disease. So the supportive karma just prolongs the result of some other karma. When a being has been reborn as an animal through the productive force of unwholesome karma, so as a result of akusala karma, a being is reborn as an animal, then supportive karma may facilitate the ripening of more unwholesome karma productive of painful results, and may also lead to an extension of the lifespan so that the continuity of unwholesome resultants will endure long. So a supportive karma is that which just supports or which extends the result of some other, say, productive karma. And then the third one is obstructive karma, upapilaka karma. Now, which it cannot produce its own result, but obstructs and frustrates some other karma, countering its efficacy or shortening the duration of its pleasant or painful results. So this is, it also does not give results itself, but it interferes with, actually, it interferes with the result of some other karma. So even though a productive karma may be strong at the time it is accumulated, an obstructive karma directly opposed to it may counteract it so that it becomes impaired when producing its results. Now, example, a wholesome karma tending to produce rebirth in a superior plane of existence may be impeded by an obstructive karma so that it generates rebirth in a lower plane. So the kusala karma is strong enough to give result in superior plane of existence, but an obstructive karma may interfere with it, and so it generates only a rebirth in a lower plane. A karma tending to produce rebirth among high families may produce rebirth among low families because it is obstructed by this karma. Karma tending to longevity may tend towards shortness of life because of the obstruction or interference of this karma. Karma tending to produce beauty may produce a plain appearance, etc. So this karma interferes with or obstructs the result of other karmas. Now, in the opposite way, an unwholesome karma tending to produce rebirth in the great hells may be counteracted by an obstructive wholesome karma and produce rebirth in the minor hells or among the Vedas. So, a person has done a lot of akusala, or a powerful akusala. So normally it would lead him to rebirth in great hell. But he may acquire much kusala after doing that akusala, something like in atonement for that akusala. He may acquire, he may accumulate much kusala, and that kusala karma can obstruct or can interfere with the akusala karma, and so the result of akusala karma may be not as bad as it would normally. So, you know Ajatasattu. So Ajatasattu killed his own father, and so actually he was to be reborn in Avijji hell. But after listening to the Buddha's discourse, the Samanyapala Sutta, he became the disciple of the Buddha, and he had great respect and devotion for the Buddha, and maybe he may acquire much kusala. So when he died and he was reborn, he was not reborn in Avijji hell, but some smaller hell near Avijji. So a karma can obstruct another karma. A good karma can obstruct bad karma, and bad karma can obstruct good karma. And the examples are given here. During the course of existence, many instances may be found of the operation of obstructive karma. For example, in the human realm, such karma will obstruct the continuum of aggregates produced by karma, facilitating the maturation of karma that results in suffering and causing failures in regard to property and wealth of family and friends, etc. In lower realms, obstructive karma may counteract the rebirth-producing karma, contributing to occasions of ease and happiness. So, although a being may be reborn as an animal, but an obstructive kusala karma can help him to get ease and happiness or comfort in that life. Now the last one is destructive karma. It is also wholesome or unwholesome. It supplants other weaker karma, prevents it from ripening, and produces instead its own result. It is called destructive karma, killing karma, or something like that. So it prevents the result of other karma and gives its own result. According to this explanation. Now, somebody born as a human being may, through his productive karma, have been originally destined for a long lifespan. But a destructive karma may arise and bring about a premature death. Like Divataka, swallowed by the earth and born in Avijji hell. First he had supernormal powers, but they disappear when he began to plot against the Buddha. Then when he died, he was swallowed by the earth, and he was reborn in Avijji hell. So there is a heinous crime of causing the blood to be congealed in the Buddha and causing the schism in the Sangha. That destructive karma was so powerful that it cuts the result of the kusala karma and immediately taken to hell. At the time of death, at first, a sign of bad destination may appear by the power of an evil karma. So by the power of akusala karma, a sign of bad destination may appear to the person who is dying. That means he is going to have a bad rebirth. But then a good karma may emerge by itself or influenced by those who are near him, and that karma expels the bad karma. And having caused a sign of good destination to appear, produce rebirth in the heavenly world. So that is also destructive karma. First, you know the story of the Handa who in his old age became a monk, and then when he was about to die, he had bad signs of destiny. Then his son, who was an Arahant, brought him to the pagoda, and then had the flowers brought to him and let him offer flowers to the Buddha. And then the signs of good destiny appear to him. So his offering of flowers and that karma was a destructive karma. It prevents the ripening of a bad karma and instead give good results. So after his death, that man was reborn in the celestial world. Now, a bad karma may suddenly arise, cut off the productive potential of a good karma and generate rebirth in a woeful realm. So this is the opposite case. Somebody may have good sign of destiny first, but later a bad karma may arise and then give him a bad sign of sign of bad destination, and so it will take him to a woeful realm. So, destructive karma can be both kusala and akusala, and it cuts the result of the other karma, and it gives result itself. Now, sometimes it does not give results. It just cuts off the results of another karma. Now you all know the story of Chakubala. Chakubala got blind, right? And so that destructive karma made him blind. But that karma did not cause him to be reborn in hell or something like that. Actually, Chakubala was an Arahant, so it cannot give results. So sometimes it supplants the weaker karma and gives results itself, and sometimes it just supplants the weaker karma. It does not give results. Both ways it goes. Now the Vibhavani Tika distinguishes between productive karma and destructive karma on the ground that productive karma produces its result without cutting off the result of some other karma, while destructive karma does so after first cutting off another karma's result. So this is the difference explained by a tika, a commentary on the manual. But other teachers cited by Vibhavini in the same book holds that destructive karma does not produce its own results at all. It completely cuts off the result of other karma, giving still a third karma the opportunity to fight them. So what's happening here? Now we expect the teachings of Abhidhamma to be very exact. But here teachers have different opinions and we are not sure who is correct. Now the explanation here is these four sets of karma. Among these four sets of karma, the first three sets are given here according to Sayādaw method, not to Abhidhamma method. Only the last four, by place of ripening, is in accordance with Abhidhamma. So that is why there can be difference of opinion. So these four are the first group in the four groups of four karmas treated in this section. And after giving the names of the karmas, then the section will teach us what results are produced by what karma. Okay. Next week, the others.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So you have any questions? You may have many questions. I know.
In the example between the kusala and akusala karma, about how an amount of salt in a small amount of water produce different than in a big amount of water. So does it say here the obstructive and the supportive function of karma when we use that example of having the water diluting the salt?
That can be obstructive and also destructive karma. Because a person has done akusala and then he does much kusala, right? So among much kusala there may be one that can supplant the akusala karma. And so it could be destructive karma as well as obstructive karma.
Therefore, the obstructive karma and destructive karma, it's sort of more active because we can think that way, that we have that option available. So like you say, if we make an akusala, and after that, we'll try to compensate by doing a lot of kusala. So if we follow this way of thinking, then that's how you know, a regular way of saying you can change your destiny.
To some extent, yes. If we have much obstructive karma, say much kusala karma which can obstruct akusala karma, then the result of akusala karma will be obstructed. So either kusala or akusala, which becomes obstructive, will interfere with the results of the other kusala or akusala karma. So that is why we are encouraged to do much kusala, so that we can at least obstruct the results of akusala karma.
Two-part question, Martin. How many kalpas before the historical Buddha was the preceding Buddha?
How many?
How many kalpas?
How many kalpas? I'm not sure. Oh, they belong to the same kalpa.
Okay.
This kalpa, there will be 5 Buddhas in this kalpa. So the previous Buddha belongs to the same kalpa.
So what I was wondering was, the anagamis then from the preceding Buddha could be present with the anagamis of the historical Buddha, the Sudavasa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody came down and requested Buddha to preach. I think Sahambadi was an anagami. There can be not only anagamis during the time of the previous Buddha, I mean immediate previous Buddha, but anagamis during the time of other Buddhas as well.
Right, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Might be very interesting.
I have a question referred to this handout.
Yes.
There, after 7 times of fire destruction will come water destruction.
Yes.
On each time, how long is each time?
One maha, there's mahakapa, yes. 1 mahakapa. I think I explained to you that there are 4 periods in 1
Yes.
mahakapa, right?
Yes. How long would that one full period?
Buddha said it cannot be stated in terms of 10 years or 100 years or in terms of centuries. So it is very, very long. So what the example he gave was, suppose there is a rock, say about 1 league height, 1 league, what about? 1 league in width, 1 league in length, and 1 league deep. And if a man were to come once in 100 years or 200 years and rub it with a small soft cloth, and the rock would have worn away, but 1 kappa has not yet ended. So it's very, very long.
How long is 1 league?
1 league is about 8 miles.
8 miles.
Okay.
Really